Let's go. If you want to have a seat or not, it's as you want.
Huh?
If you want to have a seat or not, but it's as you want. As you want for me. Very well. Now we'll have our keynote speaker, the main event of the day. Unfortunately, lots of students don't realize the importance, and colleagues as well, but don't realize the importance for the school and for the progress that and information that can be reached by keynote speakers such as Jean-Yves and the rest of the fellows as well. But I just make a short presentation about Jean-Yves, if he allows me. He's the General Secretary of European Confederation of Outdoor Employers that represents the outdoors in the European Commission. He's also the Chief Executive Officer from the France Plein Air. It's the National Employers Union of Companies and the trading in outdoor activities within the active leisure sector. He will speak about this in his presentation. In my name and in the name of the school, thank you so much for being here and share your time and effort to share your knowledge to our students, to our conferences, our fellows that are in here. Thank you so much, and sorry for this delay.
No problem. Good evening, good afternoon. Oh, this is not.
Maybe it's off.
Maybe it's off. Yeah, it's working.
Do you mind me to put there?
Yeah, no, please, of course. Yeah, hello. What I want to, as has been mentioned, I represent ECHO. We are a union and we represent the outdoors, well, the outdoor sector at EU level. That means that we are the counterpart of the European Commission when it comes to issues relating to the outdoors. The outdoors, what I want to talk about this afternoon is to make a differentiation, to differentiate the outdoors with the sector. The outdoors is, oh, that's not the right button to press. Yeah, the outdoors is a great thing, is a big thing. It goes from things that are very, activities that are very soft. Oh, I'm going to use this. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. Where do I press? Here? Here. Oh, here. Okay. Sorry. The outdoors goes from activities that are extremely soft to that are very contemplative, to activities that we call active leisure, that are more active. It also includes such activities as, okay, well, it's fine, this is fine, such as sport, and there are also more extreme activities. So what we call the great outdoors, the outdoors, goes from extremely soft activities to extremely engaged activities. We, as a sector, we don't deal with the very soft things, and we don't deal with extreme. We deal with what is called the outdoor active leisure, hiking, mountaineering, skiing, high ropes, canyoning, these sort of things. But we don't do extreme, or we don't do very soft things. The sector is is composed mainly of the recreation and adventure tourism. There is other things in the outdoors, such as education, development and training, expedition, exploration, sports development, adventure therapy. So the outdoors is a big issue, but the sector concentrates on companies, because a sector has got an economic aspect to it. It's not. It relates to such things as companies with employees paying tax, and it's. We don't deal, for instance, with education as a sector. Boy Scouts, these sort of things, we don't deal with it. We deal with somehow with expeditions, with development training. Can you turn the sound off, please, for the slides? Can you turn the sound off of the slides? We'll put it back later on for the video. Sports is also included in the great outdoors, but as a sector, we are just on outdoor recreation. We have a bit of development training and expedition, but the core of our activity is on outdoor recreation. Sport we don't cover as a sector. We don't deny that it's part of the outdoors, but it's not part of the outdoor sector. At EU level, the EU has clearly differentiated sport and active leisure. They understand that there is the world of sport with competition, with performance, with training, with these sort of things. We don't deal with that as a sector. We deal with, again, companies, employees, entertainment, tourism, leisure, clients, customers. That's the sort of things we do as a sector. In any case, we don't do extreme. We do this sort of activity. We don't do that sort of activity. Although that sort of activity is also part of the outdoors as a big picture, but it's not part of the outdoor sector, economic sector. We do these sort of activities, not really that sort. We do canoe, but we don't do jumping off cliffs and these sort of things. We do this sort of water skiing. We don't do that sort of water skiing. We do this sort of bicycling. We don't do that sort. And in terms of horse riding, we do this, but we don't do that. We don't do, very often, you see photos or videos on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube of extreme activities that are very attractive to probably to young people, but it doesn't relate to an economical sector. They are niche markets that actually hardly any company does. The bulk of the outdoor sector, the companies that are involved in the outdoor sector, they deliver very gentle, family-orientated, business return activities. Every sector has got its limits. Even the sports sector, they do this, but they don't do that. They've got their own limits as well. The key things in commercial outdoor, as you can see, there are many activities, is such issues as safety and reliability. The clients who come to our companies, who come to which we deliver our service, they want to feel safe. That's the first motivation. It's very different, for instance, to sporting activities. The first motivation in sporting activities is to improve. When people come to us, they don't really want to improve. That's not their first motivation. They want to have a good time, they want to have consistent fun, and they want to come back. Even if in certain activities that used to be orientated towards progress, like skiing, for instance, nowadays it's very much orientated towards fun, leisure, having a good time, enjoying yourself with family, and it's not so much orientated towards improvement. Return business is absolutely essential because we are businesses. We've made investments, we pay tax, we have employees, and we want to be perceived as something fun. We want happy clients because happy clients means money, of course, whereas accidents always end up in the newspapers, and we don't want to be perceived as people who kill people. So our business is based on safety and happy customers. Now, we may present it sometimes with funny pictures of, not extreme but quite advanced activities, but it's commercial, it's marketing. It's like in a theater, you may have got pictures of advanced activities that are in the sky, but the reality, is that your everyday canoe and your everyday skiing is not extreme, is not adventurous, is not an X game, is very family orientated and very safe. One of the main problem we have in terms of entertainment of customers is very often the employees that we have. A lot of you in this room are students, and you are looking for a job probably in the sports sector, I don't know, but probably in the leisure sector, leisure tourism. In the leisure tourism, where people, they don't really want to improve, they want to have fun. And if you mix the two markets, you will lose it. I hear a lot of people talking sometimes about sport leisure. Sport leisure doesn't exist. Sports tourism. Sports tourism is a niche market. It's made of people who come for a competition and stay in a hotel. That's sports tourism. But that's all. It's a very small market. The active leisure is a very big market, but you can't look after customers in the leisure and tourism industry the same way as you look after them in the sports industry. And when you are in a university like yours, that is Desporto e Lazer, sorry for my Portuguese, you must not be confused between the two, because they are different sectors. Sport is one sector, leisure is another sector, and the skills and competencies are not the same. They are different. And if you mix the two, it will not work. When you are working with sports people, they want coaches, they want trainers. When you work with leisure people, they want animators, they want to have fun. And we've drawn a little chart where you see there is the technicality on the left, and then there is an arrow for entertainment and fun. And if we place the leisure sector, we place it like this. Tourists, and of course we've exaggerated in showing the type of tourists that we are showing on the picture, but they've got just a certain level, technical level to reach, of course, but their individual limit is very low. And because their motivation is to go towards fun and immediate pleasure. In sport, you go to another way. You go into sports coaches, and if you try to bring these tourists into a sports concept of performance, of training, of competition, you will have a level where they will break. There will be fear, there may be accidents, and they will be abandoned. So again, you must not confuse the two worlds of sports and leisure. At EU level, the Commission, 10 years ago, they had the vision of just sporting activities. And we've been lobbying over the last 10 years, and little by little, and now the Commission clearly differentiates sport and active leisure. Active leisure being the combination of outdoor and fitness. So the difference is made. I'd just like to talk to you a bit of what we have done to structure the trade. To structure the trade, we've had a succession of EU projects that helped us to define the sector in the first instance, in the first work, to determine occupational maps. That means what are the jobs involved,